Yes, the fish kill. Fishes are used as a safety measure in most developed and developing countries. People know that whenever you see fish start to turn over in the water, it is time for you to get out. Because the fish has a very low tolerance level when it comes to absorbing chemicals. So it is used as a safety net. You don't drink the water, you don't use it, you don't go near it until investigations are conducted and the source of the fish's misery or stress is identified and taken care of, right? So when it comes into the Rio Cabre, the Rio Cabre passes through a number of communities, lots of communities, because it's a river that runs approximately 45 miles before it reaches the sea. And you have persons who rely very heavily on it as a source of economic advancement. You have the fisher folk, most of them operate their informal industry, which is very meaningful for them. And they have been doing this for several generations. Now, when you look at Bogwalk, how it is structured, 99% of the land in Bogwalk and Linstead is owned by about 3 or 4 families. And this is coming from, this is intergenerational wealth passing through. So you have intergenerational poverty also passing through, because all of these persons who settle here, they are descendants of slaves. They got nothing. And you see they build the little houses along the riverbank and up on the hills and so on. That's how they have existed for many years. And some of them, through the process of education, their children move out. You understand? But some of them, they still remain there. So the river has always been a source of income and sustenance for the Jamaican people for centuries. Think of what this region would have been like minus the Rio Cabre during slavery and after slavery. The folks, they could go to the river, they catch their fish, they have some to sell, they have some to eat, they send their children to school. There are several university students who have come from this region who go to school, set their fish pots, and sustain their education. Several families have brought up their children from all walks of life, different educational and vocational pursuit. You have lawyers, doctors, teachers, nurses, you name it, accountants who have been grown, nurtured and educated on the Rio Cabre because of what their parents, they use it as a source of income to sustain themselves for many, many generations. And to see this now happening to them, it's heart-rendering. It is unfair, it is unjust, it is cruel. This is something that the world cannot allow to continue. And I'm saying the world because for too long, successive generations, successive governments have turned their eyes on the behavior of these bauxite companies under the guise that they are a major source of foreign exchange that facilitates the economic development of Jamaica. But they'll quickly talk about that the bauxite company at Windalco, the proponents of the bauxite industry will quickly tell you that it employs 1,200 persons, and that's a direct employment. You don't talk about the indirect employment. But they have never submitted a figure whether calculated, whether actual or assumed, on the value of the destruction of the bauxite to the Jamaican economy. They have never quantified it, right? And when you have all of these fish kill and the river is down, for right now it's almost 1 year that no commercial economic activity can be conducted because the fishes have been completely destroyed, wiped out. And you're talking about many different types of fishes. And even if they were to put fish in there now, it will take another 6 months before it will be ready. And they have, NEPA has stipulated that Windalco should restock the river in May, which was last month, and today they have not done that. They have continued to pollute the river. They built a pond to take off the excess of the effluent that they released into the river. But the pond has leaked. And where it has leaked, it leaked underneath the ground. So it travels for about 5 to 6 miles now underground into the Rio Cabre. Whereas prior to that, they used to release it whenever you have rainfall, and they use that as an excuse to release it. Now, the pond is leaking into the ground and contaminating the underground aquifer, going into the Rio Cabre. Right? They built the pond approximately 40 feet from Charlie Mount High School. Understand? When we asked them, they have not submitted, whether NEPA or Windalco, they have not submitted any environmental impact report as to the impact that it would have on the 1,500 population at the school, which include students, staff at the school, right? And we are embarking now on an exercise with the Medical Association of Jamaica to run a scientific survey to ascertain the impact that it is having on the respiratory system of the school. And we are doing that against the background that the medical staff at the school is complaining about the increase of respiratory illnesses at the school. The release of the substances into the river has negatively affected the health of the population. Women would not be embarrassed to walk up to me and just to remove their upper clothing to show me the rashes on themselves and on their children. You understand? So this is what happens. And some of them complain of illnesses having had the water without knowing what is happening, because there's no early warning system when this is happening. Because the poisonous substance comes in different form. You have a form that it is not seen, and you have now the red mud component, which everybody will see and know. But it also has another substance that is not seen, minus the red mud.